Did you know that Jason Barnum, also known as the Eyeball Man, was sentenced to 22 years for shooting an officer due to his uncontrolled heroin addiction? This chilling fact is only the beginning. Barnum is but one of 4 notorious criminals we will explore today. Alongside him we have Andrei Chikatilo, the Red Ripper, Aileen Wuornos, a woman with a lethal streak, and John Wayne Gacy, a clown with a disturbing secret. Each story is a journey into the depths of human depravity and chaos. So are you ready? Let's delve into the dark and twisted tales of these 4 infamous killers. Jason Barnum's life took a turn for the worse due to his heroin addiction. This is the story of a man who descended from a life of potential to one of crime and notoriety. Born into an unforgiving world, Jason Barnum, later known as the Eyeball Man, was not always the figure he came to be. His early life was not unlike many others, filled with dreams and possibilities. However, a devastating descent into heroin addiction transformed Barnum's path and led him into a life of crime. This powerful substance took hold of him, warping his worldview and driving him to take actions that would forever stain his legacy. Heroin, a potent and destructive drug, consumed Barnum's life. It was a beast that he battled daily, and like many stories of addiction, it was a fight he could not win on his own. It was this addiction that led him down a path of devastation, culminating in an act of violence that would shock the world. Among his many crimes, the most notable was the shooting of a police officer in Alaska. This act of violence was not just a crime against a single individual, but a transgression against society itself. It was this crime that led to his arrest and subsequent trial, where he was sentenced to 22 years in prison. This sentence served as a grim testament to the power of addiction and the lengths to which it can push individuals. Barnum's story is a chilling one, filled with regret and missed opportunities. His life, once filled with potential, was irrevocably marred by his actions. Barnum's story serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of addiction. It underscores the importance of understanding the impact of substance abuse, not just on the individual, but on society as a whole. It's a tale of how a life can be twisted and turned by the power of addiction, leading to unthinkable consequences. In the Soviet Union, Andrei Chikatilo, known as the Red Ripper, terrorized the nation. Born in 1936, Chikatilo's early life was marked by hardship and deprivation, conditions that many attribute to the formation of his violent tendencies. His childhood was a canvas of war-torn landscapes, famine, and emotional neglect. As Chikatilo grew older, these harsh circumstances seemed to forge a monster, a complex mix of humiliation, social awkwardness, and sexual impotence brewed within him, manifesting in a dark, violent desire that would soon terrorize the Soviet Union. The Red Ripper began his horrifying killing spree in the late 1970s. His victims, often young, vulnerable, and marginalized, were lured with promises of money or food. What followed were acts of unspeakable brutality, a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity. Chikatilo's reign of terror spanned more than a decade, his murderous appetite seemingly insatiable. The Soviet Union lived in the shadow of this monster, their fear amplified by the authorities' inability to catch him. But every reign must come to an end, and so it was with Chikatilo. His capture in 1990 brought a sigh of relief to a nation that had lived in fear for too long. The Red Ripper confessed to over 50 murders, a number that sent shivers down the spines of even the toughest investigators. His trial was a spectacle, a grim reflection of the atrocities he had committed. In 1994, Andrei Chikatilo was executed, bringing an end to the bloody chapter of the Red Ripper. However, his vile acts had already left an indelible mark, a terrifying legacy that continues to haunt the annals of criminal history. Chikatilo's reign of terror left an indelible scar on the Soviet Union. Aileen Wuornos, a woman who claimed to kill in self-defense, left 7 men dead in her wake. Aileen's tale is a tragic one, marred by hardship from her early life. Abandoned by her parents and subjected to a life of hardship and abuse, her journey into crime began at a young age. Wuornos's life took a dark turn towards the unforgivable when she began a murderous spree that would span from late 1989 to early 1990. Aileen was a sex worker, picking up clients along the highways of Florida. Each of her victims were men who had solicited her services. Wuornos claimed each act of violence was in self-defense, stating they had either raped or attempted to rape her. But the sheer number of deaths raised eyebrows. 7 men, all allegedly threatening her life. The courts thought not. Her claims of self-defense were scrutinized, dissected, and ultimately rejected. The evidence presented painted a different picture, one of premeditated murder rather than desperate self-preservation. Her actions sent shockwaves through the nation, and the damsel of death, as the media had dubbed her, was sentenced to death. Wuornos was executed by lethal injection in 2002. To the end, she maintained that she had killed in self-defense. Her story a haunting reminder of a life that could have been different had circumstances been kinder. Her story, while chilling and tragic, challenges our preconceived notions of what drives a person to commit such heinous acts. It forces us to question the circumstances that lead individuals down such dark paths, and whether society plays a role in creating monsters. Wuornos' story challenges our preconceptions about killers and their motives. It's a narrative that compels us to look beyond the surface, to delve deeper into the psyche of those we label as monsters, and to consider the complex interplay of factors that can push a person over the edge into the realm of the unforgivable. John Wayne Gacy, a clown performer, hid a horrifying secret behind his colorful facade. Born in Chicago in 1942, Gacy had a troubled childhood, marred by an abusive father and struggles with his own identity. But in the public eye, he was a respected member of his community, a successful business owner, and a clown performer who brought smiles to children's faces at local hospitals and charity events. But beneath this jovial exterior, Gacy was leading a double life of unimaginable horror. Known as Pogo the Clown in his performances, Gacy's real-life character was far from the joy and laughter he projected. His home, a suburban house in Norwood Park Township, became the final resting place for dozens of young boys and men, all victims of Gacy's monstrous desires. Over a span of 6 years between 1972 and 78, Gacy lured 33 teenage boys and young men to his home with promises of work, money, or simply by impersonating a police officer. Once they were within his grasp, Gacy subjected his victims to horrific abuse, ultimately leading to their untimely deaths. His crimes, hidden beneath the veneer of his community standing and jovial clown performances, went unnoticed for years. When the truth finally surfaced, it sent shockwaves through the nation. Gacy was arrested in December of 1978, and the subsequent trial brought to light the gruesome details of his heinous crimes. He was found guilty of 33 counts of murder, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. The story of John Wayne Gacy is a stark reminder of the duality that can exist within humans. The man who made children laugh was the same man who left a trail of devastation in his wake. Gacy's case is a chilling reminder that evil can hide in the most unexpected places. These 4 killers, each with their unique stories, have left a profound impact on society. Jason Barnum, the eyeball man, his tale paints a grim picture of how addiction can spiral into violence, prompting society to confront the realities of substance abuse and the importance of rehabilitation. Then there's Andrei Chikatilo, the Red Ripper, whose heinous acts shocked the world, leading to a significant shift in how law enforcement agencies across the globe approach and investigate serial killings. His story has been a catalyst for advancements in forensic science and criminal profiling. The story of Aileen Wuornos, the woman who fought back, has challenged societal perspectives on gender and crime, pushing us to reevaluate our views on victims and perpetrators. Her narrative has fueled debates on the death penalty and mental health issues within the criminal justice system. John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, his monstrous deeds have forever tainted the image of the friendly neighborhood clown. His case has influenced popular culture, inspiring countless books, films, and series that explore the sinister side of seemingly ordinary people. As we journey through these dark tales, we are reminded of the depths of human depravity, but also of the resilience of society in the face of such horrors. Each story serves as a stark reminder of the potential for evil that exists, but also the persistent quest for justice and the capacity for change, growth, and understanding.